Hello, everyone who's joining us for today's webinar. We're going to just give it a couple of minutes so that people could come in. Thank you again for spending your Wednesday or possibly Thursday morning, depending on where you're at. We really appreciate it. We're really excited. So yeah, I hope to have a nice, fun hour with you guys.
Welcome.
In the meantime, while we're waiting, for those of you who are new, please take this opportunity to go to our website, durable.co, and feel free to create your own website. It'll take you 30 seconds or less, so you have plenty of time to do that while we're kind of getting things started. But yeah, so we're going to go through a couple of stuff, and then there's going to be a couple of demos. So if you want to join in with us while we're doing that, feel free to, or this is recorded, and we're going to be sending out a transcript of this along with subtitles in different languages after this webinar. I love being able to see the emojis. It's like really fun, and that you can kind of like have a conversation. So if you have any questions, please add them to the QA. There will be a separate button for that as opposed to the chat. But then we have dedicated panelists who will be answering those kind of as we go along. And then we'll just have like a little bit more organized for us, and we want to make sure that we don't miss any of your guys' questions. So we're super excited to have you. Okay, I'm just going to give it one more minute there so that we have a couple of people who want to join us. But we'll kind of get started shortly. And if you want to invite anyone else, there are a couple of links that you can send through. It's called the invite link share. Please note this is kind of like a first come, first serve. We have a lot of interest in this, which we're really excited about. So if by any chance somebody can't join us right now, then feel free, we'll be sending them kind of like that recording after this. Okay, so 10:02, I think we're going to get started. And like I said, we'll kind of reiterate throughout the webinar some of the things. If you have any questions, please feel free to add them to the QA. We'll do our best. We have some amazing panelists that are kind of there with us. If you have any questions and you want us to kind of expand on them, feel free to also reach out to our support team, support@durable.co. But for now, I think we're good. Alrighty, so let's get started. Thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Lily. I'm the customer success lead here at Durable. Probably talk to me, and if you've joined us for our last webinar back in May, I was the one leading that as well. Really excited to have you guys here today. But I do want to introduce my colleague, Jonathan. We call him JJ. He's our head of content and brand marketing, and he's going to be the one who's going to go through all of the things that you guys need to know for today. Say hi, JJ.
Hi everyone. Welcome. It's great to be here, and yeah, excited to crack into this with y'all.
All righty. Yeah. So we're also going to be joined shortly by a couple more people. So we have our head of marketing in the questions and answers, just kind of answering that a lot, as well as some other of our really great panelists. And we're just really excited. Okay.
Great.
So yeah, let's introduce a little bit about ourselves. So meet your hosts. So my name is Lily. Like I said, I am the customer success lead here at Durable. That means that I interact with our customers on kind of a daily basis. I chat with them a lot, really enjoy that part of it. And I want to be able to kind of just get along with what you guys are talking about. And one of the best ways we found is to host these webinars. So this is a little bit of today's agenda. We're going to go through some of these things. And we're going to get right into it. We have a lot to cover. And throughout this, we're going to ask you some questions. So you're going to see some polls come out in regards to that. So that's going to be really exciting. All righty. First, we're going to give you a little bit of an overview on Durable for those of you who aren't familiar.
Let's bring James in for this one. James is going to come in for this one.
Oh,
so
yeah, sure.
This is James, our founder, CEO. Come on in, James.
Hey, everybody. Just jogged in here. Yeah, super excited. There's so many people on this webinar. I founded Durable because I love small business. I've been running businesses my entire career. I had a web design business in high school, ran a home services business for a couple of years in university, then been building software ever since. Just super excited about the love that people have for the product here. We've hit over 4 million websites generated in almost every country in the world, and we're on track to power almost 500 million visits this year. So super incredible. And there's just so much more to build here. We're pushing out updates every month. I hope that y'all are seeing that. So the blog product, the page templates generated with AI, and we're not even close to where this product is going to be. So we've got some really incredible stuff coming out pretty quickly here, but our goal is to really make this website creation process as easy as possible, getting you something that you love in the shortest amount of time possible. And then beyond that, how do we get customers? How do we get you leads? How do we help you run a successful business? So that's really phase 2 of what we're building at Durable. So all those other tools within the platform, we're starting to work on those now, improve them. We've got the invoicing in the CRM already, but there's levels to this, and we're just really excited to build something that y'all love, and keep the feedback coming. It's really how we drive a lot of these product decisions. And yeah, thank you so much, and I'll pass it back to the team here.
Awesome. Thank you, James. That's great. Cool. Well, we're low on time here. We got 54 minutes, so let's dive on in here. So, okay, so we're here to talk about the basics of content marketing and mastering these basics and using Durable to do just that. But before we crack into that, there are a few things that we recommend doing just before you get cracking into this whole content marketing thing. Now, you don't have to do all of these. We just recommend doing this to increase the chances that you get the maximum amount of traffic, that you build the most trust with your customers, all that kind of stuff. And all this stuff takes about maybe 10 minutes, and we will send out guides for all of this afterwards. So I'm just going to quickly burn through these here. So the first thing we recommend doing for your business website, if you haven't done it already, building an About Us page. Think of any business you've ever gone to. You might have looked at their Our Story or About Us page. It's just such a great way of building trust with your customers, explaining your personal story, kind of like James just did, to be honest, and just taking those first steps towards creating a brand around your business. So highly recommend doing this. Literally, it takes about 5 minutes using what we call page templates when you're creating a new page, and we will send a guide for that. Next up, this is a bit different, but create a Google business profile listing. So think of any business you've ever looked up on Google. The ones that you probably trust and use, they have some kind of Google listing. And that's where there'll be photos of the business. It'll tell you their hours, reviews, all that kind of stuff. You can create that for your business if you haven't already. It's totally free. And kind of like that About Us point, it just really makes your business look super legitimate and trustworthy. And you can also ask for reviews there as well. So if you don't have reviews yet after you set up your Google business profile, just ask friends, family. You can ask prior customers you've worked with, etc. Get those 5-star reviews in there. Next up, this is just kind of related to something that we call search engine optimization, but also just bringing some polish to your website. You want to add page titles and descriptions to your website. So again, we'll have a guide on this, but whenever you're creating a new page with Durable, you'll have the option to create a page title and description. So you can see right now on Lily's computer where it says website Durable. That's an example of a page description or a page title. So it's basically just taking 3 minutes to create those titles and descriptions for your pages. It really helps you kind of, appear further up in Google search when somebody's looking for your business. Again, we'll send a guide for that. And lastly, just focus on what we call page template creation. So this is, again, sort of related to that About Us page thing where you want your website to have more than just a home page, right? You might want to have a services page. You might want to have a pricing page or a blog page as well, right? So when you go to create a new page, there will be options to create different page templates. So an About Us page, a services page, etc. You just want to start building out what we might call your website architecture. So sort of building out all the different pieces of your website that makes you look super legitimate, really kind of bumps you up in Google search, and just delivers an awesome experience for your customers. So recommend doing these. You don't have to right away, but we're going to send a guide, and honestly, this will take you 8 minutes, so it's worth doing. Cool, let's crack on here. Okay, back to content marketing. What is this thing? What is content marketing? Probably a lot of y'all have heard this phrase before, but this is, I think, kind of my favorite definition of this. It really is a strategy of creating and sharing helpful, valuable, and relevant content with your audience. And this is really crucial, I think, in a way that doesn't feel like advertising. And all this just drives traffic to your website. So chances are every single person in this room has been on the other side of content marketing. You know, maybe you Google like, I don't know, best VCR to buy. Well, not a VCR because it's not 1992, but best whatever to buy, right? And you'll come to some blog post, and chances are that has been created by a business or, you know, editorial kind of like blog, online thing, whatever. And that is an example of content marketing. Like probably there's a good chance that that is created in an attempt to kind of like bring you in as a lead to generate traffic to that website, etc. So examples of content marketing are blog posts. That's what we're really here to talk about today, but that's a really popular format here, right? So emails and newsletters. If you subscribe to any newsletters about, you know, related to your business or hobbies, etc., that is a very deliberate kind of content marketing initiative that has been created by that company. Video content in YouTube, again, like if there's YouTube channels that you follow that are related to a business or a brand, that's an example of content marketing. And social media content as well. You know, some social media content is very fluffy, but some is a lot more valuable and informational. And when you think about this, like if there are those brands that, you know, you do subscribe to their newsletter, etc., like think about them. They provide value. You actually want to read them. They're engaging. And you don't really feel like you're being marketed to, even if it is sort of guiding you to the next step in what we call in marketing, your user journey. So maybe going to their website, maybe it's subscribing to their newsletter, et cetera, et cetera. You're becoming a lead. You're sort of being nurtured by this content. So that's what content marketing is on a broad level. And let's talk about some reasons why you actually might want to start content marketing. So why bother with this whole thing? It's a good question. The number one is it drives traffic to your website. The more traffic you can get to your website, the more eyes you can have on what you're doing and what you're offering, the better. This is an excellent tactic for doing just that. Anytime you create a blog post, that gives you like ammunition. It gives you content that you can be, you know, repurposing for social media, to post on social media, to put into an email, etc., right? So driving traffic to your website. And it really positions you as an expert in your niche. So, you know, if, you know, I'm a photography expert, for example, and I have some, you know, do's and don'ts for like wedding photography, and I talk about, you know, my skills doing it and like my expertise there, like that makes me that much more trustworthy as a photographer. Like, so if you're here, you have some skill or expertise that people want to buy from you, and they want to hear your skill and expertise, because that will, you know, make them want to come to you. That'll make them want to trust you, and you can build loyalty with them as well. So building trust and loyalty with new and existing customers. This is a great way to get new customers looking at your business and trusting you. And over the longer term, like getting people to like continue to trust you, to be loyal to your business, etc. And lastly, it generates leads and increases sales. Yeah, the more people that are on your website, the more likely they are to become a lead. And the more leads you got, the more sales you're likely to make, right? So there's some really powerful and good reasons to be doing this content marketing. And the good news is, while this might sound complicated, content marketing, we built probably the world's first AI blog builder, which creates an entire blog for you using our artificial intelligence. So like traditionally, like my background as a writer, like if you're a business and you want to start a blog, it can take you weeks of work. First, you have to build the blog, then you have to write the content. So if you want to build that blog and generate, you know, create 10 blog posts, that can be a week, 10 days of work at least. But we've actually kind of like programmed our AI so that it takes a number of minutes. And Lily is going to walk us through exactly how that works. So Lily, show us the AI blog builder.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I'm super excited to show you guys this. It's one of my personal favorite features. So I'm here on my website. So when you log in for the first time into your Durable platform, you're going to be taken to this. I'm going to go to our edit website function here. And right off the bat, if you've never created a blog section before, there's two ways to do that. So the first one is that you're going to click up here where it says home. And this is where you go to create any new page. So you can go right ahead and click create page, and all of our templates will be here, and our blog post will be one of the first ones. Or alternatively, you can also come here on to the home page, and at the bottom here, it says create blog post. I'm going to go with this one since it's already open. So the first thing it's going to ask us is, what do you want to write a blog post about? And honestly, I think that's a great question. So we want to ask you guys, what should we write a blog post about? There'll be a poll appearing on your screen shortly. Please take a couple of seconds and pick one of these options so that we can kind of see the capabilities of the blog post there. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes. And again, so for those of you who are just joining us, one of the things that we're looking at is how to create a blog post. If you haven't done this before, you'll have to come in here and say where it says create blog post, adding a new page. Alternatively, if you've already created a blog and you just want to add in a new post specifically for the blog page, it will show up here under your homes. So under all your pages, the blog one will be showing up here if it's already created. Okay, getting a lot of some really good answers here. Ooh, okay, so looks like our leading, oh, it's changing. I was gonna say, looks like our leading topic is best equipment for beginners. Although mobile photography is inching up, I'm gonna go with the equipment one because I think that's a really interesting one. But also I wanna highlight, you guys can see here, there are a couple of options when you open up the blog post. It immediately is going to detect the industry that you guys are in and just offer you some options. So if you don't even know where to begin, that's okay. We have your back. So you can see here we have a couple of options like essential tips for capturing stunning landscape, art of photography, or I can also create one from scratch. So if I'm really passionate and I just want to write about it, you're able to do this through here. But if you have a dedicated topic like the one that we're looking for, you can just come in here. And I'm going to go ahead and be like, yep, this is what I want to write a blog post about. And then it's going to come in here, and that's literally it. In front of you, as you're seeing it, this is how it's going to write the blog post. It's going to add in any relevant pictures. It's going to add in any kind of like option that you have in here. To be fair, my prompt was kind of vague. I realized that best equipment for beginners, I didn't specify photography. But that's just simple as that. You can see it came here and you can be like, you know what? I don't like this. And I want to write about something else. I'm going to go back to my blog post, and this is what the page will look like once it's in here. I'm going to click on create blog. And I'm going to be like, all right, let's see what you have to show me about tips for capturing stunning landscape photos. Let's see what your options are. I'm going to put this in here, and the same thing. Any of the topics that you want on, either it's something that you've brought yourself or you just want your help with, the AI blog post will do it for you. And once this is finished writing, I'm going to show you guys briefly just how you can come in here and customize it a little bit more. But we also have a really detailed web help center article that we're going to make sure to link to you after this as well, so you can kind of try it out. But I do highly encourage everyone to kind of take a minute, either now or later, you know, to just kind of play around with this. I think it's like the coolest thing ever. It's like every once in a while I come in here.
Yeah, I'd say.
And I want to go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll just say, if you already have a website with us and it's live, go ahead and generate a blog post. And if you want to share it, please do. It'd be awesome to see what you all generate and create.
Yeah. I want to call attention to one of the questions that popped up on our chat because I think it's a great question. Someone asked, is Alana AI or just really good at her job? She's just amazing at her job. She's very much a real person. She's our head of marketing and operations here at Durable, and we're so excited to have her. She's probably been talking to her for those of you who are in the chat or answering QAs. But yes, I just love any shout out to our team. But so yeah, absolutely. Coming back to our blog post a little. She is real. Coming back to our blog post a little bit, I wanted to show you guys briefly. So all of this is done for you, but let's say you're like, oh, I have a really particular way I want to title something. You can come here at any point and just click on what you want to change. And you can like go ahead and edit it instantaneously. The same thing with images. If you're like, not really feeling this one, you can come in here and click on it, and you can either replace it with either something from our Shutterstock or Unsplash category libraries, or you can upload one directly for you. And then that's kind of how it is. And then if you want to change the title of the blog post at the very top here, you can just go to settings. And then here you can change the title as well as the slug. The slug is just essentially the URL associated with that. Like I said, a lot of things that you can do here with the blog post. I spend a lot of times with this. So that's really great. Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit about our blog post. We're going to jump back to our continuous webinar, but I'm really excited for it. And I really encourage everyone to take a minute and just kind of try it out.
Awesome. So yeah, we just created a blog post in a few seconds. And if we wanted to take 2 more minutes of our time, we could generate basically like 3 or 4 more in that time, right? So just like that, you kind of have everything that you need. You have an entire blog set up. But the thing is, a blog is sort of no good if nobody's looking at it, right? So what is the first thing, like what is the now what here, right? What do we do now? Start driving traffic. We want to get eyeballs on this content, right? And yes, we took those like steps earlier in the presentation of like increasing our chances of driving traffic to our website. So an about us page, Google business listing, etc. But there are a ton of like very quick and easy things you can do, right away to start driving traffic. So first things first, produce and distribute your content and website. So like we've made the content now, now let's get that content out there. Let's get our website out there. So, think off the top of your head, what's one way to do this? Social media, right? So if you've got an Instagram channel, a Facebook account, TikTok, whatever, right? You want to start kind of like creating a post about this content on your website and leading traffic to that. So think about any kind of publication you follow. They'll talk about an article, you click the article, and then you go to it, right? So let's do that. The good news is, again, as a writer, I can tell you like writer's block is a constant thing and it's exhausting. So we've sort of taken care of that as well, right? So if we can use Durable's AI assistant to generate these kind of like social media posts that drive traffic to your website for you. So we've created an AI that will basically create the social media post that you need to drive to these articles in just a couple of seconds. So that's going to drive traffic directly to your website. Yeah, so you can use this to create Facebook posts, Twitter tweets, emails, basically anything that you tell us in just a few seconds. It'll find images for you, etc. And Lily's going to show us that in just a second. The next thing here, and this is kind of a bit of a sort of similar to that like page title and description thing that I was mentioning, is you want to improve your website's SEO by simply generating titles and descriptions automatically with our platform. So recall when Lily was looking at sort of the blog post editor sort of sidebar there on the right, we had options to adjust the slug, so the URL, and some other components as well. So you can automatically like adjust and generate those components that will increase your chances of improving your SEO basically. Again, we do have a guide about this, which we will distribute after. SEO is like, there's a lot to it, but there's some very easy kind of quick steps you can make right away to start driving that traffic. So that's sort of the now what here. And then I think Lily's going to show us through sort of how this AI assistant actually works and how we can use it to drive traffic to your blog post.
Yeah, absolutely. So while JJ was talking, I was kind of looking at the comments, and one of the really popular questions was, how do the blog posts show up on the blog page? And I just wanted to touch on that a little bit for you guys here before we jump into that. So this is kind of what they would look like. You'd have a blog page, you see it's off on the home section, and then you'd have the individual blog posts here. Great. So now let's talk about the AI assistant. So I've gone back to our dashboard here because I just want to show you guys where the AI assistant lives within our website, but you can actually conjure it or like have it come up at any point by clicking on the little lightning bolt at the very top there, or you can also press S on your keyboard and that little pop-up will kind of appear as well. So I want to touch a little bit about what all of these tabs mean. So the AI assistant, essentially when we envisioned it, we wanted it to be able to be your personal Google, your personal like butler, your assistant, anything that you want, the AI assistant is here for you. So much like kind of all of our prompts here, if you don't really have an idea of where to get started, we have a couple of popular questions, and it can do either things within the website specifically, or for example, if you're looking to learn a little bit more about how to do something, it might take you to a specific tutorial that we have set up. So there's a couple of different ways that it will provide you the answers that you're looking for. Okay, so for example, one of the first things that we can ask it is like, yeah, it says here, write a marketing strategy for me right off the bat. We can go ahead and click on here and be like, yes, please do this. I want to, have an idea of where to get started. This is one of those documents that is very similar to kind of like the blog post. It'll just kind of show you some of the lists. And one of the things about this is that all of the information that you get on here, all of the answers that the AI provides you, you have an opportunity to come back to those and look back and see like, what was it that you wanted me to do? So I can kind of go into that. So that's one of the really great options in order for you to do that. And like I said, you can also ask it to just do specific things within the website itself. So the more, and the best thing part about the AI that I personally find is that the more that you use it, the more you're able to kind of slowly, it'll incorporate your voice, your themes, just kind of like your overall brand. That's one of the great ways to do it. So here are some kind of the marketing strategies that you can do. And you can see that when I said save, it says go to documents here. So documents is where all of our kind of, like I said, those answers live. So if you want to be able to look back at them at any point, you can do so here through the marketing strategy. But I can also come in here and be something like, create a Facebook post for me. Yes, please tell me what to do, tell me what's right. And this is really important part because it touches upon what JJ mentioned about like the title and the heading. Really important things for SEO. Images, titles, clear keywords, and description. It takes all of that into consideration. You can see here it's utilizing the hashtags as well. It's one of the really important parts about social media. So it's like, this is our photography business. Very creative title, I know. But this is kind of what we're from. Like, and if you have more specificity to your own business, like location, specifically what type of industry you're in and your niche, it will cater to that as well. I just went very broad right now. Don't even really have a business. Like I said, it's just our photography, but all of that will be captured here. And similar to most of the things, if you're not satisfied with any of this and you want to just tweak it a little bit, you have the opportunity to come here and do that. You can see what it'll look like in different screens. So we have here a phone screen. This is what the preview of that Facebook post would look like. And you can see that all of the images, all of the text is given with kind of that in mind as well. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And that's pretty much it. So you have like all of these options. And you notice that it did this, we're not in the AI assistant tab anymore. It came directly to our marketing tab, in which we were able to kind of come in here and like, this is where you will do this within the website. So I'm just going to go ahead and take you in there. But I can always come back in here. And then here you have just a couple of settings, which is you're able to kind of choose the language. We had a couple of questions about language come up in the chat. Right now we support 4 languages, which is English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. So we're working on adding new ones. But here for now, you're able to kind of like add those in. Oh, we've added in Dutch, so I guess German and Italian. So we're adding in new languages the more time goes by. So we're really excited about that. So you're able to really customize it to yourself and the voice that you're looking to do. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Like I could give you examples upon examples because honestly, we can keep going and going. Like for example, I want to change my business address, or I want to do, view my website analytics. All of these things we're going to. And one of the things that we're going to provide you guys after this webinar is just kind of like a list of our recommendations or a checklist. So you can take that list and you can bring it directly to the AI assistant and individually put in all those prompts and be like, okay, here's what I have to do. How do I do this? And it will tell you right away how to do all of those steps. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, my one word of advice for the AI assistant would be just start experimenting. Like it's really fascinating what it'll do. And I think you'll be pretty surprised at what it can do. Like that marketing strategy, that's incredible, right? Like that used to only be available if you hired like a marketing consultant for $5,000 a month, but that can actually give you like a very in-depth checklist of what you can do as a marketer. You don't need to create this to start marketing, but if you want to start kind of getting into that like very more like technical, like strategic way of marketing your business, you can do that here. But you can also just ask it to simply write you a Craigslist ad, to write you an email, write you a line of copy that you're stumped on, anything like that. It's all there to kind of like get you to a starting point and beyond, like 1,000 times faster than you would have done in the past, basically, and much cheaper than hiring a copywriter or a marketing expert or whatever else, right? So awesome. So really great, Lily. Thanks for walking us through that, the AI assistant. So this is great, right? We have this AI assistant that can do all this stuff for you, but how can we actually start using that to drive even more traffic to our website? Yes, we have the one option of like posting all the social media. So we saw Lily generate that Facebook post. We can create tweets, etc. But there are a ton of other like very easy, quick things that you can do beyond content marketing or to promote your content that will drive traffic to your website. And these can all be done in like a couple of hours or less. So one of these here is like get your business listed on every relevant vertical directory. So yeah, we talked about Google My Business there, or Google Business Listing. Like that's an example of that, right? There's a handful of others as well, kind of like Facebook Marketplace. You can do some advertising as well. I'm trying to think of other ones off the top of my head. I can't quite remember, but there's a list and we will send that out afterwards. But yes, like get your business listed on Yelp, Yellow Pages, whatever you need to do. It's generally free to do, and it can be worth it a lot in the long run. Next one, this one's really simple, and it's kind of like a bit of a secret tip, actually, is like create postings on Craigslist. So if you go to Craigslist, I know Craigslist isn't active in every single area in the world, but in a lot of regions, you can look at your specific city or state, and you can go to, like a services section where it's like you're ready for hire, and you can list your services in there. If you have a copywriting business, a lawn care business, a junk removal business, whatever it is, you can basically go in there and create a really short, simple listing that says like, hey, I'm available for hire. Here's my rate. Here's my number. Here's my website, etc. Right? Again, you can generate that Craigslist post using the AI assistant. It'll take 1 minute, and then probably within 5 minutes, you'll have that live on Craigslist. Next up, if you haven't done this, get your social medias live. This is huge in 2023. It's just the reality of running a business. Facebook, Instagram, if you want to be hip with the youth, a TikTok account, get these up and running. This is a great way to kind of like show your face in the company, to showcase your hours, your services, your businesses, show projects that you're proud of, etc. And it gives you avenues where you can be, promoting the content that you're writing and generating on your blog, right? Again, I mentioned this, but like advertise and comment in Facebook Marketplace. This can be a great sort of like generation tool for like finding some leads. I believe you can't create like a direct like ad for your business in Facebook Marketplace, but a lot of the time you'll see people like looking for X service in Facebook Marketplace. And that's an opportunity to immediately respond and say, hey, I got your back. When are you available? For example, this one like is really powerful. Especially if you're just starting your business, chances are the first few of your clients are going to be people you know, and that's totally fine. That is nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. Like, people in your network, friends, family, old colleagues, anybody. Just ask them if they need your services. Ask them if they can mention your business on their Instagram feed or on their LinkedIn, whatever. Like, get the word out, and then who knows, they might need your hand as well, right? So text, email, call, whatever, contact these people. It's your network, friends, family, colleagues. Like, that is a totally like legitimate and awesome resource for like getting the word out about your business, but also generating leads. Like a good friend of yours might be like, hey, you know what? I do need my gutters cleaned. So why don't you come on over and do that? So that's great. And then ask them for a Google review, right? Lastly, ask your customers for Google reviews. This is huge. As I was mentioning before, after you have that Google profile, business profile up and running, you got to get reviews in there. It is such a good way to boost legitimacy around your business. So just ask for reviews. The nice thing is that if you have a Durable Pro account, so if you've upgraded from the starter package, we do have something that's called reviews. And what that will do is it'll send kind of like automated review requests after a job to your customers. So this is a really great way of kind of automating that process, right? Where you don't have to be reaching out to every single client after you work with them, but you can just say like a week later, like, hey, like, could you leave a review? That'd be great. And honestly, like most of the time, like 60, 70, 80% of the time, they'll say, yeah, heck yeah, and give you 5 stars. So yeah, highly recommend doing all of these. You could do all of these in an afternoon. If you're just starting your business, if you're looking to grow, like all of these are levers that you can just really easily pull to like hit that growth and scale right away. Next slide here, Lily. Awesome. I want to close out with like content do's and don'ts. So yeah, we've been talking a lot about content marketing. And I think like, if you think back to like blog posts you've read or really useful things you've read, like you probably have an idea of like what makes good content marketing, but I want to quickly review that, before you start creating your blog, generating these posts, translating those posts to social media, etc. So first up, like create and share what you know. You're the expert here. Like if you run a business and you're confident that you have the expertise to like deliver that value to people, you're an expert and people are going to be looking to you for that expertise. So like, yeah, if you're a photographer, like you will know which types of articles to generate using our blog generator. And yeah, you can go in and make little adjustments to that blog post that really show even more expertise. So share what you know and go into depth. Like, don't worry about, going into too much detail. Like, the longer a post is, often the better. Like you want to be showing that detail. And the more detail you show, even if a customer is like, wow, this person really knows a lot, I don't know what they're talking about. That's not a bad thing, right? It makes you look like a total expert and they're going to be like, here, take my money. Please take my wedding photos. Share what you know. You're the expert. Focus on content that speaks to your target audience and adds value. So really think about like, what kind of customers have you had in the past? What kind of customers do you want? Like, what do you think they might want to know? So, if you run a car detailing business, they might have questions, or like they might want to know, like, is there anything I should specifically doing to my car in the summer to protect the paint, for example, just as one example. Or if you're a mobile bike mechanic and it's like, okay, like I'm taking my bike out of storage for the first time this year. Is there anything I should quickly look at on this bike before I start riding it? Just things like that, right? Like what might people want to know about your niche that could actually add value to their lives? What information could actually be useful and valuable? That's where content marketing is really powerful, because what that means is that they'll keep coming back to you. They will view you as a resource. And that is really powerful for repeat traffic and repeat business. Follow SEO best practices. We referred to this a few times. We've got a quick guide on this, but yeah, like definitely like start simple here, like use our own SEO tools here at Durable, but make little tweaks to your your title and your descriptions. Read our quick guide and just start experimenting. Local SEO, which is what we call it, is really actually quite easy to rank for. So again, this could be like Vancouver, BC mobile bike repair. Like how many mobile bike mechanics are in Vancouver? Probably not that many. So if I kind of bring my location and my like business together to in my kind of SEO and my page titles, etc., chances are gradually and very quickly, I'm going to start rising up the ranks in Google search. So when somebody in Vancouver looks for like mobile bike mechanic around me, boom, there I am. So best practices are in that quick guide, but highly recommended to like, just take the time with that over time. Don't worry about getting it all right all at once. Just start doing it. And lastly, test new ideas, channels, and tools. Like the more places you appear, the more traffic. Reddit, other channels, like there's so many things you can try here. Like, don't be afraid of experimentation. Is every single experiment or a new channel that you experiment with going to be a knockout? Probably not, but one of them might be, right? So just try things, like try new types of content, try different formats and approaches to social media, try being funny on social media, see how it goes. Like just play around and see what works. And over time, you'll learn what approaches to your marketing, to your content deliver the best results, and then just start replicating that. And then that's a lot of traffic. Finally, some don'ts. Don't create low quality, unrelated content. Make sure your content's good. Like we looked at that landscape photography article that Lily put together. using our blog post, like that was, I have a bit of a background in photography as well. That was generally really useful information. So that's a great example of like good content. But like a bad version of that article might have been like, go buy a tripod, I have one for sale. It's like, well, that's a bad article. So make sure your articles aren't too short, make sure they are useful, and make sure they're related to like what you think or what you know your customers care about and what they want to know. Don't spam your customers with too many emails and like too many ads and everything else. Like email is great, but you don't want to be constantly like, emailing somebody like, hey, do you need my services? Do you need this? Here's another blog post, etc. Like, don't get spammy. Don't get too spammy. Just be aware of that. And in a similar note, don't get too pushy or salesy with your content. Keep it natural and actually like, you're sort of like talking with somebody and like explaining something to them. So an example of this, like, let's say you have a blog post that's just all about like, hey, like these are 5 reasons why you should hire me as your next landscape photographer or something. Like, it's just that's not really useful information for them, right? That might infuse a little bit into your About Us page, but when people are looking at your content, they're not looking for a sales pitch. Again, to reiterate, one of the really powerful kind of abilities of content marketing is that it doesn't feel like marketing. It's kind of sneaky. So keep it that way. Don't get too salesy. But don't be afraid also to like, if it's natural in your content, like create a link to your services page or whatever else. That's okay, but don't go too far. It's kind of a delicate balance, and I think you'll get a feel for it over time. And lastly, don't wait. As they say, like better done than perfect. To start marketing your business, to start your business, there's never going to be a perfect time. Start now, because start now. If you make mistakes, who cares? Nobody's going to remember. Like nobody will remember the mistakes you make. So just start now. Start experimenting. Start pushing those blog posts out. Start that TikTok channel. Start contacting your family and friends to see if they need your services. Just do it. Just start. So whether you're like just thinking about starting a business like later today, or you want to like 10x your business this month, like just start right now. Don't overthink it. Like that's sort of like my number one piece of business advice, because the hardest part, I think a lot of us can relate to this in many aspects of our life. The hardest part of like doing something is starting it. So just start. Don't worry about the results yet. You'll make mistakes. Doesn't matter. Just do it. So don't wait. Start marketing. Start that business. Start your durable business today. We're here to help you. So yeah, those are the do's and don'ts of content, and more generally, just kind of like marketing in general. So that's
Great.
that.
Thank you so much, JJ. Yeah, love that. Just kind of get started, and that's essentially what we're going with. And so one of the things that we want to do actually before we end up the webinar is we have a couple of questions for you guys. We just love seeing the variety of all the different people and customers that we have. So we have a couple of different polls similar to like the last one. They're just going to show up on your screen there. So if you wouldn't mind taking a couple of minutes, and please feel free to add in. We're going to be answering some Q&A questions shortly after this, so please add in them in the Q&A, and we'll pick a couple that we'll answer live as well as answer written down for you. So the first question I'm going to ask you guys is, sorry, I got to end this other one. Is, are you a new and existing business? So we've noticed that we're here to help everyone. Either you just got started, like JJ said, or even maybe you got like inspired to this really passionate speech, and you're like, what, I want to do this. And you've created a durable website, or you're going to do that as soon as we're done talking. We are here to help you. We have resources for people who are either been in the industry for a really long time and just kind of want to try to catch up. Like JJ said, 2023, things are moving insanely fast. And our main mission is to be able to be that guiding hand for you, either through the AI assistant or even through our support team. If you haven't reached out to them yet, they're really great. You can reach out to them at any point through the little chat or through emailing us. But yeah, we're here for you. That's what we want to do. Okay, cool. I'm gonna end a couple of little bit here.
That's exciting. Lots of new businesses. That's great. Congrats.
Thanks for the hearts, guys. Heart back. Oh wait, how the new? I don't know how the new kids are doing it. My fingers don't bend that way.
I have no idea. Yeah.
The other question, which is kind of relevant to the other one, but we just want to get a little bit more detail, that if you are an existing business, how long have you been in business? You know, we want to kind of see, you know, it's really funny. This happens usually every time we launch this, which is businesses are either under 1 year or they're over 10. And I think that's amazing. That's really great. It's really hard kind of starting something new if the business has already been established for a while. So we really appreciate you taking the time to come joining us today, you know, mastering marketing content. That's like, gosh, I don't know half of what I should have started with. So I'm really grateful for people like JJ and Alana and all of our team to be able to fall back on. Oh, a lot of questions that we've been having from people is, can you send the link to this? Can you send this tutorial to that? We will be sending a very big email after that's full of links, full of tutorials, as well recordings this webinar with subtitles in English, Spanish, and French, so that there's a little bit more. You'll also be able to find them at any point, previous webinar recordings on our help center as well. So, okay, great. A lot of under 1 year here. Just kind of tracked a little bit with the other one. If you guys want to see the results, this is what they look like. And then got 2 more for you. So thank you so much for your patience. If we want to know actually how big is your business? Is it just you? Are there a couple of employees? Because that also kind of helps us know who our core customers are, how to target it. Yes, I see you guys, single entrepreneurs, love that. And it shows that, yeah, if you want to get started, you know, just do it. I love that. Although I was gonna say, I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. Definitely have. Nike knew what they were talking about with it, but I love the fact that we can do just started. Yeah, so we're gonna, like I said, add in any questions that you have in the system. We've also been asking, do we have an affiliate program? We do. Reach out to our support team at support@durable.co and we'll provide you a form. We do get a lot of submissions, so we're just going to go over them. But if you're really interested in partnering with us or being an affiliate, reach out to our team and we'll be able to kind of provide you guys with the next steps for that. Also, since we have this opportunity, please take some time and, you know, if you want to leave us a Google review, we really appreciate that as well. And like JJ said, ask the people around you, ask your customers, because why not? You know, if you guys are satisfied with this, I'm not going to do the like and subscribe thing, but essentially, if you do like us, feel free to join. Okay, wow, this is great. Majority of you guys are just me. This is awesome. And this is the last poll, promise. We just want to know a little bit more about what industry you are. So we've kind of like compiled the top 8. And then if you happen to be in another one, please let us know, add it in the comments of the chat. Sorry, that one wasn't very clear, because I want to just have like a general overview of that. Thank you for all the really sweet comments, guys. We're really excited to be able to support you. Yeah, and another thing that we'll be asking you after in the email is we're going to be sending out a kind of like another survey, just kind of your thoughts and feedbacks. But you know, we've had a lot of people express interest in the chat as we're going through this for more in-depth SEO. So if that's something that you're really, you know, interested in and you'd like us to do kind of like durable marketing 2.0, more advanced class where we dive a lot deeper into SEO, which is its own kind of 10-headed beast, then please by all means go ahead, let us know about that. And we value any feedback. So we're really happy for that. I'm loving the emojis, by the way. That's like my favorite part of the webinar. Just get distracted with the little emojis going in there. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, guys. We're going to kind of pick a couple of questions here that we want to answer. So a lot of people have been asking, like, what is going to be the URL of the blog post when it's live? And that's part of what we were talking before of the slug. I want to just come in here and go to my blog post. I recognize that I have 2, so that's on me. I got too excited clicking. So when you go here where it says settings, the slug is essentially what the URL of your web blog post will be. So for example, it would be like durable.co/blog/ in this case, it just copied the entire thing. But if you have like a specific, apologies, like way of speaking, or you want to showcase in a different way, then this is where you can come in here and edit that in as well. And one of the great things about blog posts is that it's kind of, somebody asked if it's going to show up in the Google SEO. Yes, that's like JJ mentioned, The blog post is one of the best kind of things to get your website up there. Google loves fresh content, and that's what we're looking to provide here for you. Yes, Canada does rock. Thank you. We do appreciate it. We are located in Vancouver, British Columbia, but our team is kind of located a little bit everywhere. So that's really great. Okay, going to look at some other questions here. Jada, do you have any that you want to touch on?
Not off the top of my head. Go ahead, or Alana, if you see, let me cruise through here.
Most of we're just getting some really good feedback from people. We really appreciate that. So
Awesome.
yes, somebody wrote like, I can post 5 times a week without stress. Yes, we're really happy to be able to kind of help you here with this. And you can kind of go crazy. I really just enjoy seeing like what it's gonna write for me. Oh, okay, somebody asked, how do you change the page titles and descriptions? Great question. I'm gonna touch on that really briefly. So essentially all of this is that we do have a tutorial for this as well that we'll send over. But essentially when you're in the home page here at the very top, so where it says pages, you're gonna click on it and then you're gonna click on the 3 little dots on the very right here, and you're gonna click on settings. So here you're able to change the title. The label is just kind of like what you want it to be called when it's on your website. And then you'll notice here that there's also a possibility of going into SEO. So Durable does provide you with that ability to kind of set up your search engine for every individual page. If you don't know where to get started, you can just come in here and click generate. Same thing with the description here, come in here, click with generate, or generate depending on what the content is, and it's going to write this for you. This is one of like the ways that we're trying to help you guys out a little bit with the SEO. If you haven't done that, that's okay. The platform automatically applies that to your website for you based on your industry and the content that it picks up on it. We do recommend kind of coming in here every couple of weeks and just giving this another regenerate, because the more that your website grows, like your blog and your voice, it's going to pick up on these things as well, and it's going to showcase this for you. So that's kind of where you add that in. Let me see here. Oh, one thing people have asked is about the blog. So you noticed here that it says draft. So this is kind of really important. So when it's still in draft mode, it's not visible to the general public. So in order to make sure, this kind of lets you perfect it, especially if you're creating it yourself, you know, you want to take a minute, write everything, make sure the editing looks good. So you got to come in here, and then here at the very bottom, it says publish. Recognize that there are 2 buttons on mine, but that's just because I haven't upgraded yet. So that's why it's showing up, but I'm going to go in here and click publish. Once I do that, it will reflect accordingly, and now my blog post is that. And you can have as many blog posts as you want, and you'll be in that format of that. So anything that has a draft, so just kind of keep an eye on that. Be like, why isn't anybody able to see my blog post? It's probably because it has that draft button there. We have a lot of add-ons as well in terms of like, I've seen somebody ask about Calendly. We do have a specific Calendly add-on. We have a tutorial for that as well, but if you have any specific questions, you can feel free to reach out to our support team as well. An important question that I just want to touch on while we have it's not necessarily related to content marketing, but somebody asked, will you lose all the work you've done in a given area if you hit regenerate? Yes. So specifically in terms of like, if it's the little ones, like the text here, the minute you click regenerate, yes, that text has disappeared and you don't have a way of bringing it back. So if you're kind of like torn between a couple of options, what I always like to do is I'll copy the text and I'll just paste it on like another document until I go through the options. And specifically, it's really important. I want to call attention to like the overall regenerate button, which you do have the ability to kind of do here. So if I were to go to my and then it's just see here on my fun businesses. If I were to click in here and regenerate it entirely, my whole entire business will disappear. So just be really careful. We do ask you to confirm, like it's not something that you can do accidentally. You have to type something out, but we do want to keep that in mind. We are working on a way to possibly revert that. Is one of our feature requests, so it is on our roadmap. But anything like that. Oh, so this is kind of exciting. Somebody asked, will there be a chance for you to have dynamic pictures, animations? Somebody also asked if you're going to have videos. Our product design team is actually working on some really cool features that we're going to launch shortly, just kind of making this your images and all of that pop. So yes, not yet, not at this moment. And I'm not allowed to give you a specific date, if not, product gets mad at me. But yes, we are working on something like that. And the things that they've come up with are super cool. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. Durable is, I don't know if you noticed this, but we launched new things almost on a weekly basis. So if you have a specific request, reach out to me or to your support team, and chances are we're either already working on it or it is on our future roadmap. We want to make sure that we're creating a product that really appeals to you guys. So, you know, tell us what you want and we'll make sure to listen and do our best to kind of provide that for you. Somebody asked if there's a job opening available. We are hiring. So if you're interested in joining our company, feel free to go to durable.co/career. You'll see all of the job postings that we have there. So that's really exciting. We're currently hiring for a couple of positions. So if you think you're the right skill set, yeah, for sure. Feel free to apply to us. Okay. I think there's a lot of other really great questions, but we'll just answer those in the chat or make sure to reach out to you individually. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys with us today. I'm just going to go back here. So there you go. Yeah, like I said, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you to JJ for imparting all of your wisdom on us. It's been a really great experience for myself, and I hope it has been for the rest of you guys as well.
Thanks for having me, everyone. Yeah, this was amazing. Whether you're thinking about starting your business today or 10 years in, like, congratulations on everything you're doing. It's amazing. So we're pretty proud to be a part of that. So take care.
Have a great rest of your day, everyone. And yes, we will be emailing all of this to you guys later on. So be sure to share that with all of your friends. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.